A beautiful day at the AIA Centre as Collingwood line up or, get ready for a huge clash against the Giants in opening round. The round's a bit how's it going at the moment, but we got our first good look at what the team is going to look like. Now, there were two players that weren't training, so Cochrane wasn't there because he had that knock to the ribs, and Hayes wasn't there at all. I don't remember seeing him on the injury report, so I'm not sure what's going on with Hayes, but he has been missing a couple of training sessions here and there. The rehab group, we know who's sort of in the rehab group. Mitchell and Geordie trained fully, and I'm talking match sim, I'm talking tackles, I'm talking everything, and they really, really impressed. So the boys started off with a little bit of fundamentals, getting warmed up. Now, very different to Monday's training session. Monday's training session was just nice and easy, nice and light. This one was a little bit more. Well, obviously matched him at the end, but this was a little bit more. Yeah, like the fundamentals you can see here. Magic is away a free kick to Sidey, but you can see here it's more development in what they're doing with marking and quick turning and tackling and stuff like that. So this is what we'll see mainly from a Wednesday session, I would assume, and the first session will always be that sort of lighter session. Now, with Oscar Steen and Ilaru Smith being injured and in the rehab group, our ruck situation has just gone haywire at the moment. You can see them kind of doing a little bit here, but when it was match sim, it was Ash Johnson in the ruck, Billy Frampton was rucking as well. So, look, we've talked about Billy Frampton in the ruck a little bit earlier because he was rucking or was practicing his sort of ruck craft. So, if Frampton does play, whenever that is, maybe he takes the backline rucking like we've all sort of suggested. And I'm not saying he's going to be the guy that does it all the time, but kind of like what McStay's doing with a bit of a chop out for Darcy Cameron.
Good TJ.
Morning, how you going, bud? Good, how are you? Good, thank you.
Gonna go around that way.
Yes, sweet.
There were a handful of players that really stood out to me today. I know I said on Monday no one really stood out because it was nice and easy, but I really loved what Will Hoskin Elliott has been doing. And I know, I think in my opening round or one of my teams, I had him as a sub or whatever it sort of may be. But Will Hoskin Elliott just goes about it again, kind of like Perryman, kind of like Lipinski, as that sort of silent assassin. Well, there he is, right on cue there. But he did some really nice things today, taking some good intercept marks, setting up a couple of goals, and not just even in match sim, just even throughout this sort of this fundamental training. I really liked to see that. Another guy that stood out to me was TJ. Now, TJ, we've talked about the half-back line being a dime a dozen at the moment. Jacob Ryan is there as well, sitting in the wings. But TJ just presents so well, and he's getting more confident in his body. Now, the only knock I have on TJ, and after speaking to a couple of the watchers, the training watchers with me as well, is just his disposal can let him down. But what I love about TJ is that he's flying for everything. He's very confident in his position and in his role. I just want to see him just absolutely smash it in the VFL and hopefully get a game. we know he debuted against the Doggies last season, but hopefully with another preseason under his belt, he can just
Oh, right, because
just see what he can do. But again, Diamond does it in the half back line, so he'd want to perform really well in that in the VFL to get a call up. So now we start getting into match sim. Let me just tell you, Jordan De Goey looks like he's ready to play. I feel like look, we don't know. Oh, he needs to get whatever it is, 20 kilometers into his body per second, whatever it sort of may be. We're not privy to all the data and all those details. But to the one-eyed supporter just watching this training session, Jordan De Goey looks like he could play on Sunday. He was quick. He was fast. Fast thinking as well. He was getting the 1-2s off Titch. Now Titch is a little bit behind on that match fitness, but Geordie has been doing match simulation for quite some time, and he doesn't look like he's lost a step. Looks like that bone bruising is sort of out of him, and now he's just trying to build that tank. I would assume that's what's sort of happening. Look, do you risk him? I don't. It's hard to say. I don't really think you risk him, especially for just an opening game. Giants are a bit decimated at the moment with their best 23 and injuries like that. So you probably don't risk him. But he just looked absolutely incredible and probably stole the show today, in my humble, honest, one-eyed opinion. I'm not going to talk over this next part, but just watch this ruck work and center clearance from Cameron Nick Dacos at Pendlebury. Kicks it right to McStay, who finishes it off. You'll really, really enjoy it.
good. How you going?
That's good. Oh, Swoopy.
Match sim was fantastic as always. It's that fast, chaotic ball. We're taking that from the Tigers game and just expanding on it. This is where you look at the black jerseys versus the white jerseys. There were players in white jerseys that were first team players, but you have to even it out. Like Mychek was in the white, Bro McCreary was in the white, but pretty much our best 23 were in the black. I think there might have been 20, 21 players wearing the black jersey. He had some of those guys from the white, and the team looks fit, firing, and ready to go. They've brought that enthusiasm from the Tigers game from Monday as well, because they were very enthusiastic on Monday to this training session, and they didn't leave anything on the table. Did not leave anything on the table.
Look at Jace. Every time we've got it in that back line, he's the one running it out.
That's what I mean. He's fucking. I reckon he gets a game soon. How?
Ooh, that's the way you go through. That's the way you take place out.
So training is just about to finish up now. It's about a 2.5 or maybe about a 2 hour session. And it was starting to get hot. So they went inside, did their own sort of thing. They stayed on the ground a little bit, doing like a bit more conditioning, a bit more fundamentals. Jordan Goey and Dan Houston, who obviously isn't playing opening round because he's suspended. They were doing some run throughs, getting some runs, kilometers into their legs. But it was a great training session. On Friday is the next one. The team will be announced on Thursday. So I'm keen to see what a Friday training session looks like when the team has been announced. But look, until then, I've got a bunch of merch available. It's the best way to support the channel. I would really appreciate it. If you could, buy some merch. It's really sick. The hats, the tees, and there's a couple of hoodies left. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.